Alright guys, welcome back to Adventure 82. This isn't really an adventure as such, unless you class walking on the beach as an adventure. So you can take your pick on that. But this is more a what's going on with the channel and an explanation video. So if you're looking for history, there are a few bits and pieces around the beach I may pop in for you. So if you want to stay tuned and bear with me, that would be appreciated. Otherwise, I feel that there's a few bits and pieces I need to explain. It's stuff I've previously mentioned on the Jersey Temps Passe Facebook page. But basically what it comes down to is that there's a few individuals who email and contact me, message me and stuff with various corrections and information and stuff. And I've never claimed to be an historian, so any corrections and stuff are normally welcome, you know, because I learn as much from these videos as you guys do. Right, sorry, I thought the microphone wasn't connected properly, that's my fault. Right, anyway, yeah, no, so one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I feel I need to explain how I film things, how I research them, etc. Because it's causing me a few issues at the moment. So for all of you that watch my videos, subscribe and send like good comments on Facebook, YouTube, additional bits of information and your stories. They're really, really awesome. I do enjoy reading those. But there's a select small few people, a couple on Facebook and one in specific who keeps emailing me that every time he watches my videos, he seems to think the best thing to do is to sit down with pen and paper, which is the only thing I can imagine he must be doing, and like dissect them and then send me an email with like loads of timestamps about everything that's like marginally or fractionally wrong, or in his case massively wrong. And I don't understand what the point would be. And then he wants me to kind of redo the entire soundtrack or put text over it or whatever. Now, if you don't do video editing, which in fairness, if you don't do a YouTube channel, you wouldn't, probably, unless it's your job. Once the video is uploaded to YouTube, the only way to correct anything in that video is either A, take the video down, which means you lose all the views and the watch hours, which if you're trying to get somewhere with YouTube themselves is not something you want to do, and then re-upload it. Or you have to make a video, a separate one, telling the people everything you've done wrong. Now this guy, like I say, sends me quite lengthy emails, and I'm sure he means to be constructive, and I'm sure he thinks he's being helpful. But when you take someone's video and you dissect it down and you send them every single time you do it about an email that's about 20 or 30 items long, that's what it feels like when you're reading it, of like everything that they've done wrong, said wrong, and telling them how the video's only let down by all this information that they've done wrong, it's not helpful. You know, I mean, I sit there and I do research on the internet, you know, like Geropedia, rail maps online, etc. Those links are always in my descriptions down below. With guys on Temps Passe, I've asked you guys stuff on there as well. You guys are awesome, you're really helpful. Some information I get from Paul. Shane's always got really useful comments when I do German ones. From, yeah, the guns with this, that and something else, to, no, you're about 10 meters away, you plonker. And they're all really appreciative. I do appreciate all of them. In fact, I've got a correction up here I could show you if I want to, and I probably will. But yeah, so it's a bit disheartening. I won't lie. On a slightly different subject, I also think it's quite useful to clarify that in Jersey, well, and actually in the Channel Islands in general, YouTube, being American, don't class you as part of the UK. So anybody who seems to be under the impression that if I get 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, which I would love to get to join the YouTube Partner Program, which is basically where they give you money for the adverts that they show in your videos, and then I'll just be making a mint. It's not true, because I'm not part of the UK. I'm actually not allowed to join it. I'd have to move to the UK mainland to be able to join the YouTube Partner Program and do that. So the only way that I can make money to fund this channel, for me to be able to go and show you the history in other islands like Guernsey, Alderney, even the UK, because it is at the end of the day a massive island, and further afield than that. So like later on this year, obviously you'll be getting my videos, the few that I'm going to make you in like Salzburg, which is in Austria. With the exception of Salzburg, which we've been saving, well, I've mentioned before, for about 10 years. We don't have the money to do that, you know. We're not one of the rich or well-off people that a lot of people just assume that everybody in Jersey is. I know obviously a lot of you are from Jersey and you're aware of that. Some of you aren't in Jersey and you're still aware of that, but for those who aren't aware, the fact that the myth that like everybody who's from Jersey must be loaded, it ain't true, trust me. But yeah, so right, moving forwards, I will be bringing you more of the JER. You'll be getting a couple more of those. Those will all be pre-uploaded, so the next video that you'll actually get from me, where I'm actually in the island, won't be until probably mid-August, because taking the kids over to Manchester, I'm hoping to do something over there. Depends if there's anything interesting to show you guys, because I don't want to bore you to death. Whilst we're on the subject of things I would like to do, the other thing I would like to do is branch out, because obviously at the end of the day the channel's called Adventure 82. So as well as bringing light to Jersey's history, which probably many of you saw also on channel television, the other thing I would love to do is do some kind of walking slash hikes through like the Yorkshire moors and places like that, and look at the history amongst those kind of walkways, because there's a lot of abandoned buildings, relics of old mines, etc., to bring you, as well as obviously just the beauty of and the natural beauty of the places that they're in. And I'd love to bring that to you as well, as would Erica. But so that's all in the pipeline. So there is interesting stuff coming, but you'll just have to bear with me. On a more interesting note, I shall spin round and I shall show you. Is that not one of the nicest things you could possibly see? A blue sky and a blue sea. See, now I complain about the States a lot, and I don't agree with a lot of what they do, and many islanders do these days, if you live here permanently anyway. But I've never fell out of love with the island. What I have fallen out of love with is the people who run it. And that is what leads a lot of people to end up leaving this island. I'm going to live in other places. Going forwards, it's looking like I'm going to be one of those people. So I'm proud of what I'm documenting in Jersey, and I will continue whilst I'm here to document everything that is remotely interesting about Jersey, which is plenty. Right, so as I've mentioned before, 3 of our kids, like I say, are autistic out of the 4. 2 of them need slightly more help than the other 2, and although some of the parts of Jersey's system are trying, others aren't trying as hard as others. I mean, I'm not impressed that we had to spend 3 years arguing with this primary school just to get them to send one child for diagnosis, but we'll brush over that. The point is that moving to the UK means it makes life easier for them, and at the end of the day, that's what matters the most to us, is them having the best start and the best lifestyle that they can, with the extra problems that they face, because obviously being autistic, you see problems that like maybe other people don't normally see or aren't a problem to others because of the way you accept things differently. So we are looking to move to the UK, but that's not going to be probably until mid-2025. So I'm still going to be documenting all the things that are interesting of Jersey, of which there is plenty of things to show you. Hopefully I'll get it as accurate as possible, which actually leads me quite neatly onto what's in front of me, which is one of the corrections I owe you. So back when I did what did I call it? Guarding Green Island video, I spoke to you about Gunpoint La Motte, and there was A and there was B. And I did my research, and it turns out one of the sources of my research is wrong, which is why I gave you the wrong information. So this one I can correct because I'm here. Other ones, as far as I'm aware, haven't been wrong, and all the other people who've watched them and remember them have all said that they're fine. So I don't know quite what the deal is. Anyway, so with this one, Gunpoint La Motte A, La Motte B is obviously, like I say, in Rotberg. La Motte A, slightly further across than that. So if you're familiar with Lamar Beach, Lamar, it meets, there's a rocky outcrop, which is right in front of me right now. And across the rocky outcrop, it meets Green Island. Now, it was on that rocky outcrop where Gunpoint A was, not where I originally thought it was. So, while I'm here, and so it's not just a video about me explaining, moaning, complaining, whatever you would like to call it. In true spirit of the videos in which we normally make, and being I'm here, we shall go and have a look and see if we can find any remnants of what was Gunpoint La Motte A. So if you've put up with listening to me tell you all this stuff for the last, probably about 7 or 8 minutes, you get a well-deserved break now, and you actually get something you want to see. So, right, give me 2 minutes, I'll turn this camera around and be able to show you something. Right, so up here is where La Motte A was. So, you had, well, I'll give you some bearing. We've got Green Island here. Down that way, that's the slipway you can just see there for Green Island. And then you had La Motte B. This is La Motte A. Again, it's part of a private property, so you can't go in without permission. But you can see, if you walk past bits of concrete like this, and if you see this kind of T shape in it, there, That's the kind of metal bars they used to use. That would have been holding the barbed wire. You can see this whole section was fenced off because you've got another one here. And you've got another one or another piece of concrete here. And you've got another fixing, would have had a post. You can see the T-bar again there. So this whole rock area would have been fenced off to stop people being able to climb up and ambush them. We also have, as Eric has just found, another one here. As you can see, more here. Because what they would have done after the wars, they wouldn't have faffed around with pulling up the concrete, because that's an awful lot of effort when all you want to do is just get rid of the barbed wire. It's not that you're going to use the fence again. So they just went round and they cut them all off. What's interesting is you can see how this is fenced off in a way that, like, stops you from reaching the wall, but also stops you from reaching the other side of the bay and going through and causing some sort of ambush. Now, I'm imagining, well, there's no remnants of it here, that there would have been similar this side. Now, maybe that it's under the sand, I don't know. Or it might just be that because they had the barbed wire there, they didn't need it here, because they have such a clear view, because the wall here is straight all the way along, that they'd see you before you approached anyway. But up there, where that flagpole is, and the bird's having a nice little rest, that's where Lamont Point A was, not the car park over there. So that's my apologies. Up there, now I've got the GoPro I'm using today. If I lift that up, hopefully, yeah, you should be able to just about. You can see there the roof of a little hut. That's the hut that had that message, and I think it's quite ominous. That was carved in by a German soldier that said, "When I sit in this place, I think of home." It's quite sad to think, that, like, there were German soldiers that were under duress to do what they were doing. Not everybody was Hitler and Hess. So it's worth bearing that in mind. Anyway, that's the correction for this one. There are a few others that I've been corrected on. Apparently a couple of bits in the whatchamacallit, the JEC Powerhouse video were wrong, according to this bloke who's been emailing me. But I don't know how that can be wrong when the information I gave you was given to me by the person I was toured with. So I'm not sure about that one. If you guys enjoyed this, do let me know. I've got a Buy Me a Coffee account where you can donate like £2-3, which won't be used for anything other than to progress the channel if you do want to do that. If you don't, subscribing's really awesome all on its own. Yeah, hang on, I'll just turn this around. Right, yeah, so I also have a Patreon if you want to do that. It's got outtakes and bloopers if you want to see me trying to make videos with people cycling like straight in front of me in between the camera and stuff, and being mildly annoying, or just daft stuff that's happened, which does happen on these videos. But I thank you very much for watching this, and I will leave you with some rather spectacular views of Green Island and Lamar Bay. Until then, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week in part 4 of the JER. We'll be picking up where we left off at No, where was it? FB Fields, the former Griff Gazette station, and be working our way up to Samaray Station, which is one of only a handful of the original station buildings that's left. So if you want to see what the original station buildings look like, then you can tune in for that one. But until then, guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.